Welcome to Cisco Tech Beat, the podcast that explores the people and stories behind what inspires the newest innovation. I'm your host, AB, and I'm thrilled to have three fantastic guests today. Lawrence Huang, SVP and GM of Network Platform and Wireless, Greg Dorai, SVP and GM of Cisco Switching Business, and Vikas Butaney, SVP and GM of Cisco Routing and Industrial IoT. Lawrence, Greg, and Vikas exemplify Cisco's leadership in networking innovation, with their combined expertise spanning wireless platforms, switching solutions, and secure WAN and industrial IoT, driving transformative strategies for seamless, secure, and scalable customer experiences. Gentlemen, welcome to TechBeat.
Great to be here.
It's great to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so I want to jump right into AI because it's pretty much still one of the hottest, if not the hottest topics. And I want to talk about how AI has taken center stage for many of our customers and, of course, across the industry in general. So what does that actually mean when we're talking about our customers and their networks, for example?
Yeah, that's a great question, AP. I think it's no small feat to see the rise and proliferation of AI. The past couple of years, we've seen a massive investment in AI infrastructure. That, of course, is continuing. We're seeing the cost curves come down. But really what we're starting to see is the emergence of AI applications in the enterprise. And, if we forecast ahead, what this means for me and, our collective customers is really this proliferation of more AI workloads, whether it's AI agents, whether it's AI at the edge. And all this comes with a host of things that network admins have to think about. What does this mean for the traffic explosion on the network itself? What does it mean for how I actually secure my infrastructure in a way that was already challenging before, but is only going to increase by an order of magnitude, if not more? These are some of the real things that our customers are thinking of and planning for. So what this means to me is that ultimately the way you build your infrastructure, the architecture, this needs to evolve with the proliferation of adoption of AI in the enterprise here.
That's right, Lawrence. I think, look, when I talk to customers, whether they're in manufacturing, they're in utilities, they're in other industries, it's really about the use cases. And one of the use cases that AI enables for our customers is things like machine vision, where they can use highly powerful cameras to kind of look at quality of the product that they're building and make sure that they're building it with the right quality and deliver amazing experiences. We have customers like Audi that are using virtual PLCs, and they're trying to bring all of this data together, and they're extending their fabric networks all the way down to the machine level. We have customers that are using autonomous vehicles for AGVs and AMRs as they're navigating the factory floor and using sensors, they're using AI technology to really deploy these new use cases. So it's really all about the AI, not just for what it's doing to the network, as Lawrence talked about it, but about these new use cases and new capabilities, AB, that AI is creating for our customers.
Absolutely. And you mentioned something, a phrase, ease of use. You didn't say that exactly, but we're talking about simplicity, for the end user experience. So how is that affecting, how are we making it more simplified for our customers?
Yeah, AB, I think the key phrase that comes to mind is really operational simplicity. Every customer I talk to, every partner, what is painful today still remains so, which is how do I actually drive more operational simplicity into my daily operations? How do I simplify not just day zero, but really day one, day N? And this is an ongoing challenge for many of our customers. For them, it's thinking about like, hey, I have a variety of different places I have to manage my infrastructure. It's not just the carpeted enterprise environment, it's also the factory floor, it's also in manufacturing. How do I drive consistency across that as much as possible? How do I support my data sovereignty requirements? And so here at Cisco, the way we think about this is, first off, we're going to support all our customers across that spectrum, whether they're focused on deploying in the cloud, on-prem, or everywhere in between. That's really about this idea of meeting our customers where they are. But the next thing is, how do you actually build towards a unified platform where you can actually drive operational simplicity in a meaningful way? This means that we have to invest in managing not only the network devices, but bring innovations at scale for all our customers, whether it is around AI, ops, and assurance, whether it is around new emerging use cases and interfaces with how you interact with the network. You think about investments that we're making in things like the AI assistant. This is a great example of how we're taking a concept of an assistant and extending it not just to one piece of the infrastructure, but across Cisco infrastructure, across networking, across security, observability, collaboration, and really one unified assistant with different skills. This is just a small example of how we're bringing more consistency, greater operational simplicity for our customers.
Let me build on what Lawrence just talked about. So let's take an example. If you're a fast food retail company, or you're operating a health clinic, or you're operating banks in the context of a branch operation. Look, what our customers have to do on a daily basis is they're to manage switching, routing, Wi-Fi, security. And in this environment, AB, it's really about operational simplicity, as Lawrence just talked about it. Look, when you think about the branch environment, we, Cisco, have about a $7 billion opportunity today. That's the business we're doing between all of the work that we're doing to enable it. We're taking an architectural approach to deliver a full stack branch. We're going to use capabilities around Meraki dashboard to manage Wi-Fi, switching, routing, firewall, Thousand Eyes, and we're going to bring it all together with the support of Cisco validated design. This is the testing that we're going to do for our customers to make sure that they can realize the value of our technology. Now, we're innovating on top of that by using Terraform capability to just what Lauren said. We're going to take care of day 0, day 1, and day 2 tasks for our customers, whether they're deploying 100 branches or 10,000 branches. And look, this is a great opportunity for our partners, whether they are service providers or resellers, to create new service opportunity to deliver this full experience to our customers. So just like you said, it's about simplicity, it's about creating new outcomes and delivering amazing results for where our customers are today.
I also want to just add, when you think about what Vikas just said, it is really around this idea of how do you actually stitch this together across routing, switching, wireless, data center, all these different components around security. And so here at Cisco, we're reimagining what this means for our customers. It means, hey, building our products in such a way that, simple things like licensing or things that should be simple actually are. How do you make it so that, the licensing a customer, buys today can be used across different operating models? It also means reimagining the interface and the experience. So especially in a world where you have to collaboratively work together with different stakeholders, we're talking about things like AI Canvas. It's really, this unique place where you bring together collaborative workflows that's powered by generative UI. So that way you can actually solve different problems that need to bring different peoples and teams together across an organization. These are things that we are focused on, driving that operational simplicity for our customers here.
Hey, Lawrence, this is happening not just in these white collar environments where we spend all our time, but it's really happening across our customer environments, whether they're in a factory floor like you talked about earlier, it could be on a roadway environment, it could be on a port that they're trying to operate. We need to extend this concept of operational simplicity across this entire enterprise. And that's where we're going to taking a capability where the network has a critical role to play, because we are the first mile connecting to all of these assets, whether it's a programmable logic controller, it's a robot or a machine. And it really starts with getting visibility around all of these environments. And once we have visibility, then we can help our customers use AI-based technology. AB, we're going to go back to what you started with, how AI can actually help them with clustering to kind of group these products together and then use that capability to get a better security outcome. And that's what it's all about.
Hey, Vikas, you did remind me, one of the things we hear from our customers across that very dynamic environment is having the visibility and having the telemetry. One of the things that I'll just also add is another investment that we're expanding is really around how we bring Thousand Eyes and the vantage points into more places. So that way, across that complex digital supply chain that Vikas just painted, you have the visibility, the observability, the assurance of that experience and outcome through that end-to-end assurance capability that only Cisco can bring here.
That's right.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about security, which is another one of our major pillars here at Cisco, and we're really proud of our security technologies. With more and more customers connecting from everywhere, I mean, you name it, they're connecting. And of course, with the advent of quantum computing, and I just had a podcast with Ramana Campella talking about quantum computers, and we know that quantum computers are really starting to become a real thing, and they're going to be more ubiquitous over time. how are we delivering on securing the networking for our customers?
Right. Let me take that on, AB. Again, one thing that was going through my head as we were talking is, maybe next year when you do this podcast with us, our agents are talking to each other. You see what I'm saying? It's not even real. And that's the world that we are thinking about as we think about security, right? Like, not that that world's right now, but it possibly could come. Uh, I think we have to think of security in three levels, right? Like, one is securing the hardware itself. So this is particularly with state actors and the current geopolitics. Is duplicate hardware getting inserted into your network? And so we have secure boot that we always had, but whether it's the switches, routers, or wireless LAN controllers, how can we make it such that at boot, even if you have quantum tools, you can't like break in? And so that's like securing the device itself. Always been good. We're just going to make sure it's quantum proof in the future, right? Like with
Right.
all these new routers and switches. The next level is securing the network traffic, if you will. We have line rate IPsec and MACsec that we use in our switches and routers for securing the network traffic. But again, think of what you said in a quantum world. Today, somebody could possibly take that, use quantum computing and break it and understand the keys, and then later on use it. It's not like they even need to break it real time. Once they break it, they can use it. So we need to make that traffic quantum proof. Of course, it's in the WAN routing side. We'll see these requirements hit first, but potentially come in the campus as well. So that's the second layer. We're thinking about how we can make that quantum crypto proof, if you will. And then finally, it's actually securing the apps and the users. So we have secure access right now with SD-WAN and SSC playing a role, and we need to continue to invest in it. And in the campus, we've had segmentation use cases with software-defined access, but with this concept of universal zero trust networking, how can we have a user move seamlessly from a branch to a campus and have common policy consistently across? So those are things that we are thinking about. Of course, with all of this, I started off with this thing of our agents could be talking each other. Like, how do we really secure that? What permissions should we give to Greg's agent versus AB's agent if we so delegate some tasks to them? And we haven't thought through it because we don't understand those use cases. But what we want to do is define the network such that when those use cases hit, we can actually go and say these are the policies that we need to set, and it's consistent across campus and branch. Because do you want to add something to it?
Look, I think where our customers are today, AB, the networks are changing, right? In addition to the AI changes our customers are going through, more and more of our customers, that retail bank I talked to you about, or that restaurant, more and more customers are using broadband as the way to connect all of these locations. And when you're
Right.
connecting these office locations using broadband, you really need to think about a security first type of model, right? Like, you need to make sure that the firewall is present for you at the first place where you're connecting to the internet. You need to make sure that you have like this journey that we are on to SASE, which is where you're using SSC capabilities as for the cloud security capabilities. That needs to be designed in. And as Greg just talked about, you need to make sure that the traffic that is traversing this broadband network is secure, not just for today, but if somebody was to record that traffic, they can't crack it open and get into your keys and into your data at a later stage, right? Like, so those are the things that we really need to think about on an end-to-end basis, from my laptop, going over the Wi-Fi network, going through the switch, going through the router, all the way across the internet to wherever my application might reside. We really need to think about security as a first-class citizen in every network design that we are doing. We're going to take the technology of Cisco Silicon, where we are improving the IPsec performance. We're improving the capabilities, because IPsec is the foundational building block for SD-WAN, for SASE, or any type of traffic. And some of our customers on a global basis, they are demanding and asking us to make sure that any next generation product that they buy is post quantum crypto ready today. Whether it's a customer in Singapore or Italy or here in the United States, departments of defense have these mandates to make sure that they are ready. So we just want to make sure that our customers are getting ready for the future. They're building these networks where it's a security first and foremost kind of design, and the network is going to be ready to help them support all of these use cases.
Yeah. It's really interesting to hear the conversation about. It's not just about finding solutions and just making things work now. Really having to think ahead about what the possibilities are and planning for those. I mean, that it takes so much work, but it's just, I think it's an indication that we really do have the customers' best. We're really supporting our customers. We want our end users to be happy and to be successful with the technology they use from us.
And you're going to start to see us, continue to focus on, are you ready, right? Like, because there's so much change in our customer environments, we just want to make sure that they're ready for the architectural shifts that are happening today, but help them prepare for the next 3, 5, 7 years.
Totally. Love it. So, of course, recently we've announced some major launches. Would you walk us through some of those and tell us why those are really important in terms of customers?
Yeah, let me start here. We have launched the Cisco Smart Switch series, and two families in particular. One is the 9350 Smart Switch, so that's our fixed access switch. AB, last time we launched that refresh was actually eight years ago, right? And so this is sort of what I like to call a once in a decade refresh. It's higher speeds and feeds. Vikas was hinting at it, but what we're also doing, and this is the name for the why we're calling it a smart switch, is having enough CPU processing capability in it so that if you want a security services insertion in that switch, we can do it, right? Things like Hypershield in the future, or there's a Cisco Live Protect, which is kind of a compensating control for vulnerabilities. This switch is compatible with it. We're not launching with that supported, but it's got enough memory, enough juice in it to support it, right? So, and of course, it's built with Wi-Fi 7 in mind. So with 90-watt PoE everywhere and the blazing speeds that Wi-Fi 7 is going to bring to campus, these switches supported. So that's one of the lines. And then there's another line, which is our core switch. This is 9650. So this is very at the deeper in the network where you aggregate. So it's in the aggregation distribution layer. And it's a very powerful switch. And this one, the last time it refreshed was almost 20 years ago. I mean, think about it, AB.
Wow.
What being launched now, we have to almost foresee what the network's going to be the next 20 years and possibly support it. And that's why these are like enormously powerful switches built with a lot of power, really thinking ahead to the future world. Because, I mean, these are expensive switches. When our customers upgrade, they literally keep it for decades. And so that's where a lot of thought's gone in, and it's powered by Silicon One. Super excited by both these families. But Vikas, I know you have a lot coming out as well, or coming out already.
Hey, it's been an exciting few weeks, AB. I think with all of the new products that across Cisco that we are announcing. I kind of hinted at this a little bit earlier in our session. For this branch environment, in addition to the unified branch where we are tying all of these things together, the hero product in this part of the market is really our Cisco 8000 series of secure routers, built on Cisco Silicon, optimized for security environments, deploying for the branch offices, just like Greg said. It's not, the customers are not just getting ready for this year or next year. They have to, these environments will be here with our customers for 5, 7, 10 years. So super excited about that. In addition to our router launches, we're also dramatically expanding our industrial IoT portfolio. Now, for customers that might not be familiar with industrial IoT, we want to make sure that in addition to office environments like we are in today, our customers have a broader footprint that they're operating, whether it's in a mine, it's in a factory, it's in a utility substation, to support the same architecture we just talked about. The portfolio has been extended by 19 new industrial switches, which open up new use cases around vision systems. It opens up new use cases for robotic control. It opens up use cases to kind of deploy that end-to-end fabric using the power of our Catalyst Center as a platform idea. So look, I think there's a great amount of innovation, but as Lawrence and I talked about earlier, it is supported by Catalyst Center, but we're also kind of directionally moving towards Thousand Eyes integration, moving towards support by our Meraki dashboard, such that all of these capabilities can be deployed in those environments. Now, in these environments, you also have robotics because you're trying to get autonomous operations going. And so now we are bringing together the best of our enterprise wireless technology and with our ultra reliable technology so customers can have singular wireless environment. And Lawrence will talk more about the innovation that we are driving in the Wi-Fi environments here in a second. But now our customers will be able to have one Wi-Fi footprint in a factory, as an example, where then our partners and customers can replace some older legacy technologies that might be there, but using Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 6E, and 7 access technology with a common control environment, which again helps us get to that operational simplicity we talked about, such that our IT and our OT customers are able to deploy these services all over. So, Lawrence, maybe you can talk to us a little bit about what's exciting with Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about how we're bringing together Wi-Fi 7 and ultra reliable wireless. This is definitely something that's going to be a game changer. But for me, it's really continuing the expansion of our Wi-Fi 7 portfolio that we started last November. So bringing together our high density, high performance large venue access point. Think of stadiums, think of convention centers, think of other large venues here. Building innovations around how do we actually software control some of the beams for multiple configurations. How do we bring together a campus gateway solution for those who want a cloud managed campus environment, but they need the performance with ultra low latency for things like roaming? These are innovations that we're also going to be bringing out as part of this that we announced at Cisco Live that we're excited to get into our customers' hands. So as you can see, top to bottom, a lot of great software, hardware innovations, but really wrapped around this idea of we need to bring together a new architecture for the network in this AI era here.
Yeah, I love it. And it's this whole unified experience, which is going to make it much easier for our customers to do what they need to do. So we covered a lot of technology there and a lot of new offerings. If you had to name two of the most exciting launches that we've just presented, what are they for each of you?
I'm really excited about the fact that we are committed to serving all of our customers and not just bringing different options for different deployment models, but bringing innovations across all deployment models. This is a theme that you're going to see consistently from us as we continue to bring out more innovations going forward. And this is something that's going to be so powerful for our customers and address the pain points that they have that they've been so clear on with us over the past few years.
Look, building on what Lawrence just said, really, we get excited when we are serving the needs of our customer. And the couple of things that are super exciting for me is this concept around unified branch and how we want to bring together our full portfolio, Wi-Fi, switching, routing, firewall services, journey to SASE, all under single platform with a tested, validated design. I just heard a statistic that we have over 3.5 million ISR units that are out there. We just encourage our partners and our customers to go look in their environments, see what they have, and then how they can modernize their environment. But remember that the innovation we're talking about doesn't just stop in these environments. You, our customers, are managing environments across your entire enterprise. So think about those operational areas and kind of how you can bring the same architecture, same operating system, same environment across your entire enterprise with the industrial portfolio as well. Greg?
Yeah, I think what I'm excited about is Cisco Smart Switch, and I'll say it slowly. Cisco, right? It's not a Catalyst switch. It's not a Meraki switch. It's a Cisco switch. That's the first part of what I'm excited about. And what that is, and this is true for routing, this is true for wireless as well, is we are really bringing our portfolios together, where you don't need to worry about, is this on-prem, is it cloud, what license I buy. You can just buy the Cisco hardware and then do what you like to do. I think I'm super excited about it. It's taken a decade for us to get all of this together, and it's here right now. And of course, it's a smart switch, which is the new line of switches. And just go look at, it's not just switches, it's routers, it's the wireless campus gateway. What I would say is, if it's been a while since you looked at your refresh, just go take a look at all the new stuff that's going. I'm pretty sure you're going to get excited as well.
Love it. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to do the episode with me today. And I really appreciate your insights into all the new launches we've announced. And thank you for your thought leadership. And I hope we get to do this again soon.
It's been great. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, AB.
You got it. Thank you.